If an earthquake were to strike tomorrow, chances are your dog would know first, a few seconds ahead of you. Sounds like science fiction. Not really. It doesn't need Wi-Fi, no warning app, and it definitely doesn't watch the news. Here's the unsettling question. How can a creature that spends half its day chasing its own tail hear a disaster before machines worth millions of grassed dollars? We're talking about P waves, the primary seismic waves. They travel at about 6-8 kilometers per second. Imagine tossing a pebble into a lake. The first ripple races outward quickly. P waves behave the same way. They arrive first. Light. Fast. Nearly invisible to humans. But to dogs and cats, it's like a sudden jolt through their nervous system. So, do pets really have a sixth sense, or are we the species that downgraded our own hardware? Take a closer look at a dog's body. Its ears can rotate independently, each scanning a different direction, like living radar dishes. A dog's hearing is far more sensitive than ours, especially in higher frequencies. Humans max out at around 20. 0 Hz. Dogs can hear beyond 40. 0 Hz. That number sounds dry. So picture it this way. You hear a door slam. Your dog hears the metal trembling before the door even hits the frame. As P waves travel through the ground, they create microscopic vibrations. We treat them as background noise, like the hum of a fan that your brain filters out. But to dogs, cats, even fish in an aquarium, it's a clear signal. Their bodies are programmed for survival, not for sitting through Zoom meetings. A cat's vestibular system, the organ responsible for balance, is extremely sensitive to changes in pressure and vibration. The moment the ground trembles slightly, they're already alert, ears raised like antennas. And us, we sit there, trusting concrete and technology. There's another detail people often overlook. Many species can sense shifts in electrical charge in the air before an earthquake. When underground rocks endure enormous pressure, they can release charged ions. It's not magic. It's physics. Animals detect these changes through their skin, their fur, and a refined nervous system we barely use anymore. At this point, are you starting to wonder whether you've been living with a free early warning system at home? But wait, if it's just a matter of better hardware, why don't we upgrade ourselves? Imagine waking up one morning. No weather app. No news alerts. Your skin tingles slightly like standing under a fluorescent light. You just know something is about to happen. Sounds like a superhero origin story. Some species already live that way. Toads, for example, are extremely sensitive to electromagnetic changes. Before certain major earthquakes, researchers have recorded toads abandoning their usual habitats. Not because they checked Twitter, but because they sensed instability in the electric charge of the water and soil. If humans had a similar ion-detecting system, maybe we wouldn't need vague headlines about possible aftershocks. Our skin itself would be the notification board. But evolution chose a different path for us. We traded primal sensitivity for the ability to build cities, write books, and film in dirt. Our brains grew larger. Our raw instincts quietly faded. So when pets start pacing restlessly before an earthquake, we often shrug and say, it's just being hyper again. We trust forecasting models more than animal instinct. We believe satellites orbiting hundreds of kilometers above Earth, higher than commercial airplanes, more than the cat staring intensely at the car floor. And right there, the story takes a turn. History is full of accounts of animals behaving strangely before disasters. Dogs howling, birds scattering, fish leaping from the water. Humans, meanwhile, often need a strong enough shake to spill a cup of coffee before we believe anything is wrong. There's a fascinating psychological reason behind this. Our brains prioritize signals that society considers reliable. If nobody else panics, we don't panic. If the news hasn't said anything, we keep scrolling. Pets are different. They aren't bound by reputation or social logic. When their nervous system says, run, they run. No committee meetings. No vote. The problem is that we usually ignore those signs until the ground actually begins to move. Only then do we look back in amazement. The dog really knew beforehand. Maybe the remarkable part isn't them. Maybe it's us. We call ourselves the most intelligent species. We build satellites, raise skyscrapers, invent early warning systems. Yet in our living rooms, a four-legged companion may be listening to the earth cry out long before we notice. So here's a question for you. The next time your pet behaves strangely, will you laugh it off or lean closer and listen? Maybe we don't need a sixth sense. Maybe we just need to relearn how to use something we once had attention. And if you're sitting next to a living biological radar, try watching it a little more closely. Who knows next time? We might talk about how pets could become the smartest early warning system on the planet, but that's a story for another day.